61.
Well, it's a lonesome away from the bonfire at night when you're gone off the piss and the pills don't seem right. Well, there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear than to go to your stash and it ain't got no gear. Well, the young public servant straightens his tie. He looks kinda nervous, but he wants to get high. The dealer, he wraps up some cow shit just dried, winks at his mate, says the awareness is 9. Well, it's a lonesome away from the bonfire at night when you're gone off the piss and the pills don't seem right. Well, there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear than to go to your stash and it ain't got no gear. Well, the junkie rolls in with his teeth dropping out. He can't get no smack and he won't go without. I'll settle for a number, he says with a leer. His mates all shout, piss off, we ain't got no gear. Well, it's a lonesome away from the bonfire at night when you're gone off the piss and the pills don't seem right. Well, there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear than to go to your stash and it ain't got no gear. Well, it beats getting anxious for a score to come through. Half a ton of good heads or a kilo will do. Barley hand rolled or Lebanese gold. It ain't been the same since Don McKay got rolled. Well, it's a lonesome away from the bonfire at night when you're gone off the piss and the pills don't seem right. Well, there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear than to go to your stash and it ain't got no gear. Keep the faith, Australia, I'll see ya. Always remember, the more TLC, the more THC. And keep the faith, Australia, I love you. Bye-bye.
Well, folks, welcome to Amos Sewn 61, 6th day of the 4th month, 2023, day before Good Friday. That's good, isn't it? Anyway, that little ditty that was just played then was from a good friend of mine who's unfortunately no longer with us. Skip. Gordon Skippin. Top bloke. Taken too young, but he had a good life. Rode bikes, fucking drank a lot of beer. Friend of mine, obviously. Anyway, let's get to some serious news, shall we? Well, maybe not serious. It's serious because there's a lot of really bad stuff happening in the world. So much. Let me get prepared with this. This is really, going to get serious. Excuse me. Have you heard about the situation in Palestine, Iraq, Iran, rather? What was it called? Jerusalem? What do they call it? That little town. There's lots of bits and pieces of Jerusalem, apparently. But they've had there's this compound here, you see, that's got a couple of important structures, apparently, and they're fighting over it, as they do. Tensions in Jerusalem have flared after Israeli police attacked worshippers in the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound overnight during the holy month of Ramadan. The raids continued until Wednesday morning when Israel forces were once again seen assaulting and pushing Palestinians out of the compound and preventing them from praying. Before Israelis were allowed in under police protection. This is about, folks, There's a couple of different people. And yeah, well, Israel, it's a very fraught land, isn't it? Before dawn on Wednesday, Israeli police stormed the mosque compound occupied in East Jerusalem, attacking dozens of worshippers in the some other name for a mosque. Video shared showed women screaming as help as small fire up. And what's it all about? Why do you need armed security forces in a bloody church, for fuck's sake? There's other stuff here that was going on. There's something further down in the article I found interesting. Has this happened before? Oh, look at that. There's a good picture. I don't know if you can see my mouse. But this area, that's where well, some call it the Dome of the Rock. Some call it the mosque. I believe mosque or the, what do the other guys call it? Yes, Temple Mount, that's right. In recent years, the Alaska Mosque compound has been an annual flashpoint during Ramadan. Last year, more than 300 Palestinians were arrested and at least 170 wounded as Israeli forces launched incursions into the compound during the holy month. The following deadly violence in the occupied West Bank in the late March, in which 36 people were killed. What the fuck is this about, folks? Yes, yeah, well, a lot of us know and suspect what it's about, but it's surely, something's not right there. Anyway, we've got to look at this, what's happening here. Why are Palestinians fearful about that mosque's future? Well, fucking no doubt, because the Jews are going to do whatever they want to do anyway, aren't they? Anyway, enough of that. I'm over that story now. Oh yes, things are getting better over in the Iran, apparently. Yes, you see, in Iran, they've US getting progressively weaker, says Iran. The supreme leader of the Iranians, I guess, Ayatollah Al-Khamenei or whatever, said in a speech to senior officials on Tuesday, facts show that America was weaker under Obama's administration than Bush's. The US was weaker under Trump's administration than it was under Obama's. The US is weaker under Joe Biden's administration than it was Trump's administration. So, in other words, things are getting progressively worse over there, and they're just having a bit of a gloat about it, I guess, because they're trying to be friends with their local people over there in that area, and the US don't like it. What's that about too, I wonder, eh? Well, you see, a lot of it is just about oil, There's lots of oil and stuff over there, and America's got its own agenda, I guess. Anyway, speaking of Americans' agenda, let's change tack. Let's go to the world agenda. Ever heard about the World Health Organization? Well, they had a bit of a story recently. Who reveals staggering infertility statistics? It's estimated 1 in 6 people worldwide are unable to conceive, the organisation says. Infertility affects 1 in 6 people worldwide, the World Health Organization has revealed in a new report. While the WHO could not determine if infertility has increased or decreased, the report comes with warnings of declining sperm counts worldwide. So, why would that be? Published on Tuesday, the report states that as of 2022, 17.5% of the global population experience infertility at some point in their lives. The figure, to arrive at the figure, WHO researchers analysed more than 130 separate studies from 1990 to 2021 and found similar results across the world. The average lifetime prevalency of infertility of high-income countries was 17.8% compared to 16.5% in low and middle-income countries. So, we ain't got so many swimmers anymore, eh? It gets worse further on, apparently. Oh, this is RT, which is it's a news provider, RT. Yes, anyway. The report also did not identify whether infertility rates have increased or decreased in the time period studies. However, a landmark study published last November found male sperm cancer have fallen 62% in the last 50 years. Average sperm counts have dropped from 104 to 49 million per millimetre. That makes sperms pretty short, doesn't it? Just above the threshold of 40, below which infertility is likely. 62% in how many years? Must be something in the water. Well, maybe not. Anyway, so what's going on there? Anyway, the next story gets even worse. The headline is the headline of the day. It's a real cushy feeling, nice feeling headline. JP Morgan CEO calls for redistribution of wealth. That sounds great, though. It means, mate, you're going to share the money. That's what that sort of says to me as a headline. But the article is nothing like that. Anyway, this Jamie Dimon, that's a strange name, isn't it? Dimon. What does that sound like? Anyway, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon has urged governments to seize private property in order to build renewable energy infrastructure, arguing that allowing the market to evolve organically will leave humanity with few options in the face of accelerating climate change. You're fucking kidding? I don't know if you heard that last bit. I'll just read that bit again. That dude urged governments to seize private property in order to build renewable energy infrastructure. So, is this technically it is redistribution of wealth. It's making the fucking rich blokes richer and the small blokes ain't getting the picture. Seriously, folks. And like just a headline. And the actual what the story is about. Can you believe it? Warning that the window for action to avert the costliest impacts of global climate change is closing. The bank Tuesday arguing we simply are not getting adequate investments fast enough for grid, solar, wind and pipeline initiatives. Massive global investment in clean energy technologies must be done and must continue to grow year over year, he wrote, insisting governments, businesses and non-government organisations, they're the criminals, of course, not a lot of criminals, anyway, need to align across a series of practical policy changes specifically involved in screwing you up the arse. I mean, specifically involved in the use of eminent domain in order to expedite the adequate investments in renewable energy. Eminent domain is a legal process by which a government confiscates private property for public use. More recently, and controversially, however, governments have seized private land under eminent domain for use that primarily or solely benefits private corporations, leading to some states and municipalities to introduce legislation that protects property owners against what they view as eminent domain abuse. That can't be in Australia because local councils will do whatever the developers want. Did I say that loud? Oh, well. Anyway, this is Iowa, of course. I'll get on the next story soon. The next story is a cracker. The Iowa House of Representatives passed a bill last month restricting the use of eminent domain by carbon pipeline companies. Pipeline projects will require to obtain a consent from 90% of the owners of their route before they can wield state power against holdouts if it becomes law. So 10% of you are fucked. If you don't want your land, you anyway. So I'll just go back to the headline again. JP Morgan CEO calls for redistribution of wealth. That's a fucking fuzzy fucking headline if ever there was one. And when it boils down to it, it just means they're just going to take your land. How good's that? Not. Anyway. Before I go on the next story, I might actually, that's my mate Skip, who's, you've heard his music before. He passed away a couple of years ago. He was a top bloke. He really full up wanted the natural plant marijuana to be used as it was supposed to be used, for fuck's sake. Right, so in the meantime, I might chuck some music on. And what am I going to do about that? Well, I'm having a loss at the moment. YouTube. Could be something worth watching on YouTube because I need to go and do something else. Play some music. Get back to the show. Oh, look, I'm live and there's some music. Oh, yes. This is the man. Yep.
How you like the studio? Yeah. Yeah. If you did nothing what I took your ass, well good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'd be free telling stories how we want. If you did nothing what I took your ass, well good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'll be free telling stories how we want. The world in your hands, it's up to you, now it's your plans. Pick your side, I pick mine, this is your chance. No more time, this the end of the line. Now you decide, give it rights, or defend with your life. It's us or them, what's it gonna be? Come with us, your body, your property. You're free to breathe properly. You go with them, it's their body, the commodity. You'll earn nothing, be happy, they got the monopoly. Take your pick, I hope the shoe fit. If it did, well, welcome to the clique. If you got tricked, well, quick, no sip, they're still sick. Get the brick, or they're cutting off your chip. I tell you, this is it, can't switch, mate, once it's too late. Your decision can't change now, once it's been made. Two pass, which one will you take? Are you a member of a team, or just one of their slaves? You did nothing while they took your rights, but good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'll be free telling stories how we want. If you did nothing while they took your rights, but good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'll be free telling stories how we want. So come with us, we lift up each other, one race, all mixed, we all sister and brother. Them if you pick, all your thoughts better fit in the mold, all your kids getting ripped from the mother, my prediction. See a clear distinction, there's nothing left, rights close to extinction. Choose freedom now or get used to restrictions. Think for yourself or get told truth fiction. Make some noise with that pen, stay at home quiet or come join in the chance, your choice. Use your voice where you can, pick them, it might be the last choice that you have, cause they'll control everything you see, telling you what you should believe. Everything you do, no, they'll be watching you, locked down while telling you you're free. That ain't free of me or bothers. I won't let them con us. Accept the passport and we're goners. Don't give them the honours. They said they wouldn't, now it's put upon us. Yeah, another broke a promise, still claiming that they honest. Who you picking? If you a man, must be kidding. How you gonna let them tell you that you can't make a living control? It's been the plan from beginning. Can't say you weren't told. How you standing or sitting, did nothing while they took your rights. Good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'll be free telling stories how we want. If you did nothing while they took your rights, but good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'll be free telling stories how we want. If you did nothing while they took your rights, but good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'll be free telling stories how we want. If you did nothing while they took your rights, but good luck telling kids why you never stood up. If you do something like you should, like I know you could, we'll be free telling stories how we want. The world's in your hands. It's up to you what you're gonna do. You gotta join us, stand up. We got this shit. I got your back.
Well, that's a pretty amazing young man, isn't he? You can find him on YouTube. What's his name again? Kane Hobbs. Anyway, cool kid. Great music anyway. So we'll go back to the next story, shall we say? We're talking about the weather. Remember me talking about that last time? Let's get rid of me and then put the... Yeah, good old Kane. Anyway, Good Friday. Looking forward to tomorrow, folks. Should be fun. The weather's supposed to be fantastic. Well, maybe not quite fantastic. But apparently there's going to be some weather. So run for a few seconds. Go away. Anyway, Easter long weekend will commence with an outbreak of dangerous weather, with 2 separate thunderstorms bands set to pummel much of eastern Australia. Good Friday will have the feel of summer as warm and humid northerly winds create a perfect environment for thunderstorms, which should be in a broad region from about Rockhampton down to Victoria, which means fucking every cunt. Did I say that? Anyway. Melbourne can also expect wet weather, and without the risk of severe storms, current indicators show 2 lines of storms will develop. 2 lines of storms. What's that about? Why is... Yeah, I think they'd chuck a third in, wouldn't you? It is pretty boring anyway. The first will form early in the morning west of the ranges and then sweep towards the coast by midday. The second, more intense band will follow through the afternoon and is likely to include the 2 most severe storm types, supercells and squall lines. Supercells are long-lasting rotating cells responsible for the majority of damage in thunderstorms. They're capable of producing large hailstones, which can really wreck your day. So I look forward to it, folks. That's the future we're going to have next weekend. Hopefully I was going to work on my bus. Anyway, that's the plan for the weekend was, folks. Working the bus. The bus is going to be back on the road sometime this year, hopefully. And I'll be go back down to Canberra, I think. It's going to be my first trip. Visit Canberra again. I'll miss the guys down there. They're a pretty cool bunch of blokes. And if you ever freaking... There's a colour picture. Right. Anyway, I had it want to make myself laugh. Doesn't happen that often. Right. Where was I? Remember that. Anyway. So let's go back on to the next story maybe. This is an interesting one too. Just change the subject, folks. That's what you do when you... Anyway. Rising interest rates have put some borrowers in trouble, but the RBA says the banks will be fine. These headlines, right? Geez, they really, that's just saying the bank's saying you go and get, yeah, well, I said worse. Anyway, rising interest rates have put some borrowers in trouble, probably more than some. But the RBA says, don't worry, the banks are fine. Don't worry about you folks that are struggling to pay for your houses and your, because it's the dream, isn't it? Owning a home. Anyway, a significant group of borrowers are at serious risk of default, but Australian banks will be able to comfortably survive any losses, argues the Reserve Bank. Oh, isn't that so nice to hear? You're going to be out in the street, but the banks will be fine. The RBA's latest financial stability review is under intense scrutiny, with banking failures overseas raising concerns globally and rising interest rates continuing to put pressure on many households and businesses. The bank has updated modelling previously undertaken in the last FSR in October about how households were coping with 3.5% points of interest rates increased imposed upon the RBA since May last year. But don't worry, folks, they've put a pause on the latest one. The latest one, they were thinking of putting it up again. Thought, oh no, we'll give them another breath of fresh air. And so, if you're owning a house, folks, get it paid off as quick as you can. Of course, but most as you can, because